Hello, good morning students. Please subscribe the channel, drop a like, share and comment. This is dictation number 49 and 50 of Model Speed Dictation volume number 1 on the speed of 100 words per minute. Start. Now, sir, coming to the general approach, the financial and monetary approach, the finance minister, as in this budget and in the previous one also, has adopted an approach of collecting real resources outside the budget and outside the finance bill. Last year, about 3,000 crores were collected on account of price rise, and this year, with the rise in the prices of petroleum and steel and coal, about rupees 1,500 crores have been collected outside the budget. Again, on account of the increase in prices of steel and coal, another rupees 500 crores would be collected. Technically, you can say that this is not a budgetary measure, but if they suffer a loss, these things will have to be taken into account, and to that extent, the budget deficit would have increased. Now the state is playing the massive role not merely insofar as maintenance of law and order is concerned, but also insofar as development activities are concerned. The old concept of collection of resources by way of taxation is there, and there is the injudicious method by which the government gets rupees 200 crores by taxing the petroleum products. Sir, last year the finance minister collected about rupees 2000 crores on petrol and petroleum products alone on account of the rise in their prices. But now, if the method of resources mobilization increasing is through taxation, then I think it is necessary to ensure that this artificial distinction between resource mobilization through price rise and taxation would not stand in the way of Parliament, and the nation should be presented with a clear picture of what resources are being mobilized either through price rise or through taxation. This artificial destruction of saying that this price rise is no longer very realistic in the present day circumstances, because this price the central exchequer would have to pay for it, and it would be reflected in the deficit. Sir, the method which has been adopted this year has meant that the resources had been collected outside the budget and parliament. The total burden that the people have to bear should be presented to the people clearly. It should be told that this is the price rise, this is the taxation increase, so that there is a real discussion on that. If this trend continues, then the budget and the finance bill will not become a major event in the economic policy of the nation. It will ultimately become a non event. Therefore, some reorientation of the approach is necessary with regard to this matter. The resources released through price rise should be discussed in Parliament, and the entire picture of the budget should explain the entire thing. The modern economics as it is developing, must be placed before the nation and parliamentary discussion should take place. Otherwise, we are discussing only about rupees 200 crores taxes imposed by the central government on the people of this country. The Honorable Finance Minister, while introducing the budget, said that the proposals we had made in the budget presented to Parliament should demonstrate that the government is responsive to all the reasonable demands and would be ever ready to redress genuine grievances. Sir, one has to live to complain about that. You take any newspaper and see the headlines about the number of persons who have died, not of natural death, but something like a dead body found in well, dacoity in some area, shooting bus passengers, kidnapping minor boys or girls, and so on. A person, if he were to live, will be able to enjoy some of the fruits of raising the standard of living, the benefits of the egalitarian society. But alas, we are suffering from the ills which we thought, when independence comes, will disappear. Otherwise, how is it possible? I do not blame any political party for it, but all of us are responsible that we have not been able to create a sense of security among the people to integrate them emotionally. Nationally, we have failed to create a sense that a brawl between two persons belonging to different communities does not necessarily mean a communal riot, and over and above that, if all these things were to happen, where are we leading to? Will it strengthen the nation? But the people first must live and learn to live together. It is good that the Honorable Prime Minister had been there, and I hope things will not be repeated. But it is a pious hope that I have, because we have not created anything by which a national fervor could be created. We have not changed our educational system. We have paid lip service to it. We have thought in terms of economic or fiscal targets. We have forgotten about physical targets as far as social security is concerned. All of us want to live in that direction. Unless we make vigorous efforts, we will not be able to achieve anything. Sir, as far as the state finance corporations are concerned, they also give a very dismal picture of the money that has been advanced to them. Nearly half of the money is in arrears. This is a very disturbing feature for the economy. All the time we are thinking of the gap, the uncovered deficit. Here is the money that you have advanced, and if 50% is to be wiped off, what will be the state of affairs of the economy where you want to generate more productivity? Sir, I will not like to go into the delay that occurs in sanctioning the applications for assistance and others. But it has been pointed out in the report that the projects, when their applications are pending, if they are not expeditiously disposed of, then the case of those projects will rise due to the rise in prices, and to that extent the project becomes costly. Therefore, I will only plead for their early sanction.